The police apparently released messages that belongs to Charlie Kirk shooter. They claim these messages happened after the shooting, and it was Charlie Kirk shooter texting his partner. And I don't know which pronouns I could use before YouTube clap my channel and get rid of me forever. So I'm gonna just stick with their partner. Right? This was a person transitioning to a female. Now, these messages is being met with skepticism to say the least. People ain't buying it. Couple of things that caught my eyes about these messages almost from the very beginning was there's no timestamp. Now, apparently, they actually crafted these messages, right? They took the conversations they apparently got from his text and they put it on a sheet of paper. They even provided context right here where they says, after reading the note, so apparently he left a note for his roommate slash his partner. After reading a note, the roommate responded, "What? You're joking, right?" So this is not raw messages. This is them crafting it. So no timestamp, and apparently took place over a span of a day and overnight. Second thing is, these messages appear to be too self-incriminating for someone who was smart enough to methodically plan this and get away for a couple of days until his father ultimately turned him in because he confessed to his daddy. The FBI was not on his tail or his trail. He was getting away scotch-free from the FBI. His father had to do the work of Cash Patel and turn him in. So someone that methodical, that smart, they just texting, getting away, like they just texting, self-incriminating themselves, giving themselves up. And at the end, he tells the partner, delete this exchange. This person has a 4.0 GPA in high school, a full ride to college. This person knows you can't delete text messages, bro. Once you text, it's in there. You cannot delete it. They got it forever now. So this is why it didn't make sense to me, and it kind of seems like the perfect evidence. It was too perfect. It laid out everything for the police. So Robinson writes the roommate, right? So the killer writes the roommate, and he says, "Well, here, I am still in love with you, but I'm stuck in Oren for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you." The roommate responds back, "You weren't the one who did it, right?" He wrote, "I am. I'm sorry." Roommate says, "I thought they caught the person." Robinson writes, "No, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I'd have planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out. But there's one vehicle lingering." He says, "Why? Why did I do it?" The roommate says, "Yeah." Again, this is just too perfect, like cut and paste confession. And he wrote, "I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can be negotiated out. If I am able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully, they have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it." Now, apparently, this is like, so some time has passed because you see the dot dot dot, right? And the roommate wrote, "How long have you been planning this?" He wrote, "A bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it, but there is a squad car parked right by it. I think they already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it." He then follows up and says, "I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got to my vehicle. I'm worried what my old man would do if I didn't bring back grandpa's rifle." Now, this is where now we find out more about how he got caught, right? See, he didn't just go to his parents' crib and voluntarily confess. His father already suspected him because when the police posted a picture of the rifle that was used, it was the grandpa rifle. And the rifle is very unique and is very distinct. So when the father seen the rifle, he knew that's our rifle. And he knew the only person who had that rifle is their son. So then he told his son, "Send me a picture of the rifle." So then they put, I'm worried what my old man would do if I didn't bring back grandpa's rifle. I don't even know if it had a serial number, but it wouldn't trace to me. I worry about prints. I had to leave it in the bush where I changed outfits. Don't have the ability or time to bring it with. I might have to abandon it and hope they don't find prints. How the F will I explain losing it to my old man? Only thing I left was the rifle wrapped in a towel. Remember how I was engraving bullets? The effing messages are mostly a big meme. If I see notices, bulge, ooh woo on Fox News, I might have a stroke. All right, I'm gonna have to leave it. That really effing sucks. Now, this is where it gets me right here. Remember, I was engraving bullets? I thought they knew nothing about it. I thought they knew nothing about this plot or this scheme. Why would they remember you were engraving bullets? Now, I'll be real, bro. All right. Now, maybe engraving bullets is a thing that people do normally. I don't know. All right. If I walk past my homie, or let's say my girl, because I'm not putting myself in their shoes, if I walk past my girlfriend and I see my girlfriend engraving bullets with things like, hey, fascist, catch. I'm gonna ask, why are you doing this? Who do you plan on catching these bullets? Like, huh? Like you, like what? Like the ducks, or the deers you're about to go hunt is gonna, huh? I will be concerned. I will ask questions, right? Like somebody just engraving bullets randomly in my living room isn't really a normal practice. But it continues. Now, judging from today, I'd say Grandpa Gun does just fine. I don't know. I think it was a $2,000 scope. Now, here's the thing, all right? This is where I get a tad bit suspicious. So he has the awareness enough to tell the roommate to delete the messages, to to not say nothing, don't cooperate, but he didn't have the brains to know that texting over the phone, this evidence is going to be safe forever. The police can retrieve it whenever they want to retrieve this evidence, even if you delete it out your phone. So he writes, deletes this exchange. My dad wants photos of the rifle. He says grandpa wants to know who has what. The feds released a photo of the rifle and it is very unique. He's called me right now, not answering. Since Trump got into office, my dad has been pretty diehard MAGA. I'm going to turn myself in willingly. One of my neighbors here is a deputy from the sheriff. You are all I worry about, love. I'm much more worried about you, the roommate says. And then he also says, don't talk to the media, please. Don't take any interviews or make any comments. If any police ask you questions, ask for a lawyer and stay silent. Yeah, we're not stupid. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that the police made up these text messages because that would be absurd. And like, that's some like loony conspiracy stuff. What I believe, because the possibility that the police will create fake text messages and jeopardize their investigation and jeopardize this dude getting off scotch free. Because if you use manufactured text messages in court, in trial, and it's proven that he didn't type this or write this and the police actually did it, he's getting off scotch free, right? He's coming home. So I don't think they would jeopardize their operation like this. What I do believe, though, is that roommate knew beforehand. That roommate knew that the shooter was gonna murder Charlie Kirk that day. That roommate was in on the plan. Because Tyler is not, well, he's from that community, but he's not transitioning. And apparently Tyler plight was, or his problems with Charlie Kirk is Charlie Kirk's sentiments or rhetoric against the trans community. His roommate was that, or his partner was that. So if he was avenging that community, you mean to tell me he didn't tell the person he lives with, the person he's in love with? I think it's cap. I think that person was well aware of all the plans. I think that person knew what was going on. Tyler being smart enough to know, oh, they're gonna come after that roommate. They're gonna take him into custody too, because they were aware of the plan. They were in on it. And in order to protect that person, Tyler told that person, hey, we're about to conduct these scripted messages. I'm going to write you. You're going to pretend like you don't know what's going on. This is essentially going to be your alibi. I know I'm caught because my grandpa and my daddy is already calling about this rifle. I'm already caught. So hence, we're going to script messages back and forth to where you pretend like you don't know what's going on. And this is going to be your alibi. So you don't get arrested for first-degree murder. Because if he held Tyler playing this, he's going to jail too. That's just my theory, though. Tyler Robinson scripted this to protect his roommate slash partner because he knew the partner was going to go to jail too if the FBI gets to investigating and looking into the partner. But if they just say, hey, look, man, bro, I didn't know he was going to do this. He didn't tell me. Good. Concrete, solid alibi. And if they plan on using this in court, then they have to go with the theory that the roommate didn't know what was going on for these messages to be legitimate. Now, people like Candace Owens, though, they believe that the messages is sus. They have skepticism of the police department, of the FBI. They believe that these messages are fake. And here's Candace Owens giving her reasoning for why she believes the messages are fake.
Yeah, these messages are clearly doctored, is what I would say. They're doctored. Now, they could decide why they're doing that. Tyler's being forthcoming. We're protecting him in some capacity. I find that to be unacceptable. Okay? Unacceptable. I want every single text message. I want timestamps. It is conspicuous that you are not telling us when this was sent, because it sounds like it's when the campus is on lockdown and he's got to go back and he's got to clean up. And then all of a sudden we're in the next day when his dad is getting clued in after the picture's been released. They're not telling us that, okay? And you have a right to be a little bit uncomfortable about that, because I'm a lot of bit uncomfortable about that. We need full answers.
I'm not really buying the messages are doctored. I do believe that it was scripted by Tyler, right? That he scripted this to protect his partner. But bro, you can't just doctor these things, bro. Yo, you doctor a message like this, bro. That's a get out of jail free card for the killer. Now, people is putting these like messages through like ChatGPT and ask if it seems real or genuine. Now, I'm not sure what they're suggesting. Are they suggesting that the police ChatGPT this, or did Tyler and his roommate ChatGPT a dialogue back and forth? So ChatGPT says, could it be real possible, but very unlikely because of how detailed, staged, and incriminating it is? And that was one of the things that I told y'all about, right? That like for someone so methodical, so detailed, so cautious that they were able to evade the police, like to just lay it all out in text messages, man, I don't know, bro. That seems odd. More likely, it's fabricated either by a human writing a mock transcript for dramatic effect, or by AI prompted to generate a fake chat log about a violent event. I think it was a mock transcript for dramatic effect. But y'all let me know in the comment section, what are your theories, man? Do y'all believe that these messages were created by the police? Or do y'all believe that the killer, they did a mock transcript to protect the partner because the partner was in on Charlie being killed? Let me know. And if you're still watching, click on this video right here somewhere on my screen, here, or here on my screen, to find out why Cameron kicked out his guest from this podcast live, right? Like he kicked him out off the show live after this guest showed up high and began to disrespect the show in the ultimate way. Click on this video right here to find out what happened. I'm going to see you guys in this video. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.